Focus Ireland are launching their campaign to get homelessness on the election agenda in Dublin and nationwide, as a new MRBI survey shows a shocking 8% of people fear that they're likely to become homeless. Here to speak with me about this is Joyce Loughnan. Good morning, Joyce. How are you?
Good morning.
Okay, talk to me about Focus Ireland and this latest survey.
Well, Focus Ireland undertook a survey in January with the MRBI of about 1,000 people, and unfortunately it's highlighted that there's 8% of those people who feel that they are at risk of losing their home. And that just demonstrates what a live issue this is for so many people in society now, and that the politicians in this upcoming election can't ignore that. And so we're asking all the people that are voting to ask their politicians when they come to their door what they're going to do about preventing people from becoming homeless and indeed addressing the services and housing that's needed for everybody that is already homeless.
I mean, it's quite bizarre with this new survey when you see that nearly 1 in 10 people who are surveyed believe that they might become homeless.
Exactly, and that's just the indication of what the impact of the recession is having. Because as everybody realizes, you know, times have been difficult since 2008, and really it does take time for people to the point that they become homeless. So we have started to see evidence of it increasing in 2010, and our expectation, unfortunately, is that there's going to be a lot more people that are affected by this in 2011. So if people can ask the politicians, you know, what are they going to do about it? And there is a strategy that is has been agreed, and we believe it's a good strategy, but unfortunately the timeline for implementing it hasn't been met. And we would like the new government to sign up to that strategy and sign up to a timeline as to when they are going to implement it.
Now, I see where Focus Ireland have said, you guys have said there's up to 5,000 people homeless in this country, and the latest estimates show that there's in region of 120 families on the housing waiting list nationwide. And when you see the amount of houses that are lying idle and empty around this country, whether they be private or whether they be corporation, or, you know, it's hard to match these numbers up.
Isn't it a biggest belief that we've been engaging with government for 3 years now? I've been in this job of chief executive for 3 years, and from the moment I have come here, we have been negotiating in terms of a leasing arrangement to avail of all the empty accommodation and put it to good use. It's just appalling that there's now 120,000 people on the housing waiting list. That has increased in the 3 years, you know, fourfold. So the government just is not delivering housing for the people that need it. And yet there is all this housing that's in the ownership of NAMA and all what is being paid for by all of our taxes. So if there was a political will, there would be a solution. We have a great opportunity here to avail of what accommodation is in the right location and to the right standard, that it can be used for social purposes. So this is a solvable problem for the 5,000 people who are out of a home. If the political will is there, we should be able to address that within the first 2 years that the new government is in place.
I mean, when you see the results of this survey, it's quite bizarre, because I mean, it's people from all across right across the spectrum who are basically surveyed. I mean, from housewives, unemployed, students, people who are retired, and they are living in fear of being homeless.
Absolutely, and there's many reasons, but what is very evident is the mental health deterioration because of people being under stress. and worry. And that is caused by all sorts of things, aside from financial stress, from relationship breakdown, people turning to addictions. So it's a combination of all these factors that then ultimately lands up with somebody being out of home and having nowhere and no support systems around them to help them in that time of need. So certainly anybody that is in that situation, they must contact us, and we do what we can to support them to help make sure they don't lose their home. And the strategy is that nobody should be out of a home for more than 6 months, that everybody should be given emergency accommodation so nobody has to sleep rough. So if people can ask their candidates, what are they going to do to make sure that that homeless strategy is implemented and is a priority for their first 2 years of government to end homelessness in Ireland.
Okay, I believe you've got a Facebook election campaign as well.
That's right, and if people haven't signed up to Facebook, they can access it through our website. It's just a little icon on the website, which is a little F for Facebook, and they can access it through there. They don't have to sign up themselves to Facebook, but they can get at it through our website, which is www.focusIreland.ie. Indeed, they can give us support in whatever way they can in terms of the work that we do to try and support people that are homeless and prevent people from becoming homeless.
So how are things going for you guys there? I mean, how's life in general?
It's very busy, but the staff are fantastic. They've just done whatever has to be done. They've been very flexible and taking on more work and doing more with less resources, because 30% of our funding comes from the public, and we're very, very grateful to everybody that we get great support from the public over Christmas and the cold weather. So that's really tremendous to have the buy-in of the public in terms of what we're trying to achieve.
And of course, I mean, you're always looking for donations because you can never quite get enough of that.
That's right, but we do understand that, everybody has got less money now, and so, we're very cautious and keen to use money wisely. 90 cents of every euro we are given is spent on frontline services. So we're very prudent in terms of how we spend money, and make sure that it is targeted at the people that we're here to serve.
Well, listen, good to talk to you, Joyce. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much indeed.
Have a good day. Care. Have a good day. Thank you very much. That is Joyce Loughnan speaking to us from Focus Ireland. Dublin is talking.